Welcome back to another tier ranking video. You guys seem to really enjoy these. I really enjoy making them. It's a win-win. Okay, so this one is going to be a fun one. This is called the Star Wars Lightsaber Duels Ranking Tier List Maker. And it goes over, I guess, some of the main battles or all the battles from the movies from 1 to 9. Now, I primarily have a standing for, all of the movies, of course, but hey, just for the fun of this, we're going to go ahead and we're going to rank everything as it is. So, the first battle right off the bat that I think is going to be the best battle of all time is really actually a split decision. And I know a lot of you who know me don't think that I actually would have a split decision on this, but the battle is actually between Anakin and Obi-Wan in Revenge of the Sith, and of course, Darth Maul versus Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan Kenobi in The Phantom Menace. Both choreographed, stunt master, sword master by Nick Gillard. The reason we got the fights that we got in the prequel trilogy, I almost said the sequel trilogy, is because of Nick Gillard himself, and why Disney is not hiring the man for future Star Wars projects, amazes me, and I don't really know why. But anyways, the reason that these two are tied for me is because they are both. Well, first of all, they both use Duel of the Fates. Okay, that's a given. The second reason is because they're both so emotional. They both have, each fight, of course, has, a lot at stake. But you can't really compare the stakes of, let's say, Anakin versus Obi-Wan versus Dooku and Anakin. Or, even Maul and Qui-Gon Jinn in that one battle there. There can always be events that transpire out of that could potentially be favorable. But with, Obi-Wan, Qui-Gon, and Maul, it's Duel of the Fates, and as Dave Filoni said, it's Duel of the Fate of the Child, of the Chosen One, of Anakin Skywalker. That's huge. I've done plenty of fan fictions 6-7 years ago about, what if Obi-Wan died, or what if Qui-Gon survived, or what if Qui-Gon trained Anakin, or what if freaking both of them survived, or none of them survived, and Darth Maul was the one who trained Anakin. So I think that was one of my oldest fan fictions, is what if Darth Maul trained Anakin. It's like a 3-parter, 40 minutes long. But I think at the end of the day, what I'm going to have to give is the S tier to Revenge of the Sith, Mustafar. But then, of course, we don't have to choose one over the other, so we can do that, but I enjoy talking here. So I would have to say the next up would be the Empire Strikes Back Luke Skywalker versus Darth Vader duel. I mean, iconicness aside, one of the most iconic duels. I mean, them standing in the chamber on Cloud City with the smoke and impressive, most impressive, but you're not a Jedi yet. I had this coin collect, it was a piggy bank, and you could push the button and it was Vader on it, and he was just impressive, most impressive, but you are not a Jedi yet. And it was cool. I don't know where it is now. It's probably gone, but I'd love to get that back one day. But I think this one would definitely have to be, in terms of, it's tough to rate these because what am I rating them on? Am I rating it on overall choreography, music, flash, pizzazz? Or am I rating on the intensity of the scene? So if I'm, we could have two different even videos of this, but I'm going to say this is an A. It's very iconic. If we're going to go for iconicness, I mean, it's going to be an S. And we're going to have basically, the first 6 films are all going to be an S tier, but that's stupid. That's biased, right? So I would say the Anakin Dooku duel would probably be... Here's the thing. When I did the interview with Nick Gillard, he told me there are so many more scenes that he's actually going to be sending me regarding the Obi-Wan, Qui-Gon, Maul duel, things we have never seen before. The Anakin and Dooku fight, there are things that, he even himself, look, check this out, Here, Anakin versus Dooku early test, check this out. There was just so much more that they did with this fight. And then not to mention, of course, in the books and stuff that they had where, Anakin throwing tables and fight. So here he would, slice Dooku's eye. And he was actually full-on supposed to slice Dooku's eye in this fight. Just look at this. Why didn't we get any of this incorporated into the whole thing? It just doesn't make any sense. As of course George's, couldn't have a 4-hour movie, I guess, of, just fight scenes of as much as we would all love them to be made like that. But, this is courtesy of Nick Gillard himself. But, these fight scenes right here, I think he takes out Dooku's eye. Yeah, right here. Or maybe it was before that. There was one move where he throws it in the air. Anakin throws the saber in the air and catches it with the other hand or something like that. Yeah, there you go. There you go. That was the one where he takes his eye out. Yeah, dude, isn't that wild? Ah. It's just like the choreography is just ridiculous. Anyways, if you got stuff like that, then I think, yeah, you know, for sure, you know, could have been an S tier. But I think, you know, for what we got, probably... Again, am I rating this for choreography or am I rating it for, like, impactfulness in the movie? We're rating it as a whole. So, let's go B. Qui-Gon and Maul, I mean, you know, it was cool, but it wasn't really anything like that you're like, whoa! You know, they were just touching swords a little bit. For me, this scene here, episode 6, it's just so important. And it's the first time, I believe it was one of the first times in the original trilogy where we got music during a lightsaber battle. You know, except for like we're at the very end of the Empire Strikes Back battle where Luke was like starting to lose. But we got like an actual like beautifully orchestrated like bit of music. And it was when Luke was overtaking Vader and then of course sees that, you know, if he continues down this path, then he's going to turn into Darth Vader. He's going to turn into his father. And so for that reason, he stopped. Really moving fight scene for me, really beautiful. I mean, not as flashy or anything as the prequel trilogy, and of course Vader was really immobilized, and he didn't want to kill his son at the end of the day, so I would definitely have to put this in the S tier, just because it is just a really important scene, and I think it definitely upped the ante for all of the original trilogy fights right there. Like, it was probably the most fast bit at the end, and the choreography was definitely the best, I think, of the originals. The next one, okay, I mean, Ahsoka and Vader, I didn't realize that there's animated in here too. I'm gonna have to give this an A, because that was really nicely done. But again, it's animated, so it's hard to even... Yeah, I didn't see that these are animated. I don't have my glasses on. Okay, so the next one up there is Obi-Wan versus Maul on Tatooine in Rebels. Really quick fight scene. Like the choreography, obviously the choreography was amazing, because if you think about it, how Obi-Wan is going through the different stances, right? Like this is not who I was, as Sam Witwer explained, and then he goes to this Qui-Gon Jinn, and he goes a different stance. So he's like going through different forms of like who he is and who he's become in his mind, which I thought was really cool. Sam Witwer explained it really nicely. If you want to check out that clip, there is one here on the channel where I interviewed him with Mark Fernandez on Rule of Two. 4 years ago, 4 years ago, which was wild to be able to talk to him. So I would put that probably, oh geez, I can't put it at a very moving scene. Choreography was decent. You know, it's just, yeah, whatever. See. Okay, we're putting Grievous and Obi-Wan. This was definitely a fight scene that, for me, you know, when I was 15 years old seeing this in theaters, I was like, this is pretty cool. But it never blew me away as much as like two humans fighting, or you know, because it was a cyborg. So it was, Grievous didn't have the force. Like, he just got 3 hands taken out super quickly and easily because he wasn't nearly as versed as a Jedi or even a Sith. He was trained by Dooku, but he wasn't nearly on par with Dooku or anybody else for that matter. He was good for, you know, non-force users. He was good for maybe lower tier Jedi, for example, but he was definitely dangerous. But when it came to Kenobi, who was the master of Sarisu, which is defense, didn't really hold up. For this, I'm gonna have to... pains me to give this a C. I don't really want to give this a C. Let me go through the fight in my head. Yeah, I'll give it a C. I'll give it a C. Obi-Wan, Anakin, and Dooku in Attack of the Clones. Brilliant fight scene. Anakin was extremely young and full of anger and pep. We'll take him together. No, I'm taking him now. Anakin, no! Ah! You know, and so it was just, that was that scene. And then, of course, we see a little bit of Jar-Kai with Anakin when he takes the 2 blades. I remember seeing that in theaters, man. I was 12 years old. And then just gets one taken out. And then it's just like, takes out the electricity, and it's just all dark. The theater was dark, and it was just like, oh my God, man. It was just, glad nobody had epilepsy there, but it was just... It was just really a wild scene in that theater, being 12 years old and seeing that. After the seismic charge and just everything, it was just, it was wild. So nostalgia-wise, yeah, you know, I'd have to give that like an S. but we're being realistic here. I'm going to give it a B. No, I'm going to give it an A. Just for me. Just for me. Because it was like the first time where we see Anakin fighting Dooku. For me. Alright? And I'm trying to be as objective as I can, but also, look, it's subjective. Okay, Mace Windu versus Palpatine. I mean, one of the coolest fight scenes when he takes out all of his Jedi. We're supposed to get a lot more. We're supposed to get... Here, let's see here. Palp versus Kolar, Tin... Look at this. Check this out, guys. Check this out. So this was supposed to be, like, partially of the original fight that we were supposed to get. With Palpatine versus Agen Kolar, Sazy Tin, Kit Fisto, and Mace Windu. Look at that. Takes out two of them like that immediately. Freaking Agen Kolar out. Now it's just Mace Windu. Like, we were supposed to see Palpatine being absolutely ridiculous. Just insanely confident with the lightsaber. And we did get to see some of that. But there was just so much more in this deleted scene. Or in this original choreography that really, like, I think was just so much cooler. So, like, we did get some of these in the actual scene. Because I know the choreography like the back of my hand. Oh, jeez. Cool. Have I not watched this in full? I think I was waiting to do a reaction of this, and I never ended up watching it. Because I never did a reaction. I just don't want to, like, you know, profit off of Nick's work kind of thing, like, so to speak. Because so many people do that with this stuff, and they never give credit. Oh. Interesting. Right away, lightning. Interesting. Yeah, see, man, like, people take all of his stuff and they just, like, don't give credit, and they just, yeah, dude, I don't, it really bothered him that people do that, and so, like, I still talk to the man, you know, we're pals now, I'm gonna go see him, I respect him, I don't want to, anyways. So, I think we're supposed to get a lot more in that fight. If we were going to get what we were supposed to get originally, I would put it at an S, but I'm going to put it at an A. Dooku and Yoda in episode 2, for me, was a freaking highlight. I grew up with Yoda, and then I was 12 years old. This was already 6 years of watching Star Wars, like, every single freaking night, at least 5 times a week. Since you're 6, okay, and researching about Yoda, like, being on the forums, being the lore, everything, there was so much. Well, really, there wasn't all that much about Yoda, but there was so much curiosity about him. And seeing him fight Dooku after walking in with the cane and then doing the 2 minutes with the Force Lightning, he absorbs it and then he shoots it back, and then hop, like, going crazy, going absolutely crazy. Form 2, I believe. I'm gonna have to give this one probably an. Y'all are gonna call me prequel shills, but you know what, bro? It was badass. It was just so badass. It was just cool. Obi-Wan Kenobi, Darth Vader, classic fight. I mean, you can't. They're, like, apprehensive of each other. Choreography-wise, obviously not anything special by any means, but very meaningful scene, very impactful scene. I remember being a little kid watching this. For me, again, we might have to do this with. I might redo this at the end. But yeah, you know what? I'll redo this at the end. Just choreography, okay? But for right now, we're going, or I'll even upload a second video, just choreography. But for right now, I'm going to go for, like, nostalgia and, like, including choreography, but also how I feel about the scene, how it made me feel, and that's all what it's about, right? What's that one down below there? Oh, is that Ezra, Kanan, and Vader? Okay. Palpatine and Yoda. Phenomenal fight scene. Really cool. But again, we were supposed to get something even more with that. Check this out. Check this out, man. Then, like, Yoda walks in. It's 5 minutes. I'm not gonna put the whole 5 minutes in here, but I've reacted to it myself. They fight. He's, like, blasting Yoda. Yoda uses the royal guards as shields, and then he shoots Yoda with lightning. Then Yoda, like, ends up running around the whole freaking stadium as this, like, lightning is just being shot everywhere. Body checks Palpatine. Opens his eyes, smiles, ignites his saber, cut away to Anakin Padme, blah, blah, blah. And then they just are going at it like crazy. I would have loved to have seen this. I think this would have been... The imagery of little Yoda with the shadow, I think would have been so... like, growing like that. Over a... oh my gosh, that would have been so nice. And then they're just going crazy at it. And it's just like... yeah, Palpatine brings in these robots, these droids that are just like now trying to attack Yoda. And he has to take them out while he's fighting. It's just the same old stuff. It's like taking down the stadium. Oh wow, this would have been a really cool scene, man. I wonder if, like, in this moment, Yoda would, like, use the dark side or something for a second, or... I don't know. Oh, jeez. Wild, man. I don't remember how this ended. He just gets away like that. Yeah, I guess Yoda... I guess George Lucas didn't... Yoda. I guess George Lucas didn't like this alternate ending of Yoda winning against Palpatine, because in the books it said he wins, Palpatine wins, so I guess that's how George wanted it. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna have to put that at an A. I'm gonna put this as well in an A. And yeah, that's honestly it. I'm not gonna vote on any of the other ones. This one, I don't even honestly remember this, so I'm gonna put it an E. And then, this isn't even a lightsaber fight, so it's an F. This, I'd give this an E. What's this one? Is this Finn? Is that Finn or Rey? Yeah, it's Finn. I'm gonna give that an F as well. Okay, yeah, so that's what I would rate it, and then the next video is gonna be me rating them on choreography, or actually... let me just do that now. So let's just repeat this. Actually, no, because I know what you guys do. You guys jump to the end of it, and then you're like, that's his rating! Oh my god, I can't believe it! Because you don't even watch the video. Probably you didn't even watch half of the stuff that I put in here. So anyways, only the diehards did. I appreciate you. I love you. So I'm going to upload this one, and then I'm going to do it on choreography only. Okay? Let me know what you think. And then the next tier we're going to have to do is going to be through this. So the game tier. So stay tuned for that one.